Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So here we go, Bill Maher's repenting. He's done, I think, too many segments as of late that have been negative towards President Joe Biden, the greatest, most intelligent, most competent president in American history. And so, of course, as a paid media shill, you can't have that. Bill Maher needs to repent. He needs to undo the damage that he's done. And so what's Bill Maher doing? He's doing a media tour. These are rare, people. It seems as though Bill Maher's handlers have sent him out on a media tour to counteract that narrative. Tell the people, listen, I'm not a Biden hater. I'm just a straight shooter. I'm just telling it like it is. But even though I criticize Joe Biden, trust me when I tell you, Donald Trump remains the greatest threat to our democracy ever. Donald Trump will steal your lunch and kick you in the shin. Yep, that's pretty much exactly the way I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't care. This is my show, my opinion. I'm gonna say whatever the frick I want to say. That's the way I'm perceiving this whole thing. Bill Maher is doing a little apologetic tour so the left-wingers can once again see him as a fighter for democracy. But there's only one problem. Bill Maher's not as smart as he thinks he is, but most importantly, the people aren't as dumb as he perceives them to be. Egoist Bill Maher, in my opinion at least, in his latest media adventure, completely embarrasses himself, and I think completely fails to make the point that he's trying to. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. He's made 3 different pit stops here. We got some clips to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so it all started off with Bill Maher heading towards The View, making a visit with the cackling hens at The View.
You're a comic, but you basically go after Trump and Biden. You know, both of them. And a lot of people are not happy with you about that. I'm
not equally.
Well, not equally, because you know that Trump is more dangerous.
Of course. I mean, I don't think anybody was more out front on that danger than I was. I was talking about how he was never going to give up power long ago when everybody was laughing at me and said, you smoke too much pot. And I said, I smoke just the right amount of pot. Because plainly, I was using the term slow-moving coup before he was elected the first time.
That's right.
I said, this guy is never going to concede power. It's impossible to imagine him going, oh, I lost.
Yeah, can't do it.
That's just not in his nature.
So, but I'm nervous about saying anything against Biden because I feel, not that I have so much power, and you have some more than I do, obviously, but...
Oh, I don't know about that.
Are you afraid that you might, influence people who are on the fence?
I think you lose all credibility. I do. I mean, my bond with my audience has always been I don't pull a punch.
Yeah.
My bond with my audience is you're not going to like everything I say, but I'm saying what I really think is true.
Right.
That's.
Yep, you can see it's the apology tour, right? Listen, okay, it's real time with Bill Maher. I'm just a real guy. I'm just calling it like it is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bill Maher was so real and authentic in his ignorant shilling of Gavin Newsom with Patrick Bet-David in that infamous clip that we've played a million times, where he advocated for Gavin Newsom to run for president even though he couldn't list a single accomplishment. Yeah, Bill Maher's so real. He's living in frickin' hobo-infested California, but he's shilling for the guy that continues to make the problem worse, a real guy. I mean, that's just one hypocrisy. We've called him out on so many over the years. But anyways, he needed to assure his left-wing audience that no, he's still on their side. You haven't lost him just yet. Don't worry, you never will. He's literally paid to be a shill. But let's continue on. He didn't just show up on left-wing shows to apologize to left-wing audiences. No, he also went into the battleground to make the case and make the argument. And here, of course, is where Bill Maher proves himself as, first of all, a horrible debater, and secondly, totally dishonest and ignorant. First pit stop, Greg Gutfeld's show.
So far, so fun?
I have a few quibs.
Okay, go for it. Quib away, Mr. Quib.
Well, I mean, I agree that it's great that we're talking. I agree that we agree on some things. We're not exactly aligned on the most important things, which is basically Trump is someone who does not concede elections. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You don't seem to see it that way. That's the most important thing that's going on in this country. He didn't concede the last election. He's not going to concede this election.
You don't know that. You don't see into the future, Bill. I don't see your crystal ball.
Yeah, I did, because I was the only one who was talking about that way back when, and everybody said, oh, you smoke too much pot. Turned out I smoked just the right amount of pot.
There's no right amount.
But can you really picture this guy going, you know what, I lost, that's it?
He did. He left. He left
because he had to leave, because he couldn't.
Yes, but that's how it works.
Well,
what do you think he's going to like board up the White House? Pull a straw dogs with Dustin Hoffman?
Well, last time he thought the other Republicans would back him up. When he called that guy in Georgia and said, "I need 11,000 votes. I want you to find."
He said find. He didn't say create. He said find.
Well, that's the same thing.
No, it's not. You don't say on an Easter egg hunt, I want you to create some Easter eggs.
We have a show.
So, Dr. Drew.
Yes, sir.
You're really good at diagnosing mental illness.
Okay.
What is Bill's problem?
Wow. I feel like Tom Brady.
Let me. It does feel personal about Trump with Bill.
It's not.
It feels that way.
No,
It's
I don't
not
think so.
personal.
No. It's just a difference of
He
opinion.
did sue
different
me.
view.
Did he sue you?
Of course.
I didn't know that.
Really?
No.
He
Here in
sued you?
news?
Yes. I don't follow everything in your life, Bill.
Right. Well, that was kind of. Yes, he sued me because I said he possibly was the son of an orangutan. Because we showed the picture, he looks exactly like the hair color. It looks exactly like an orangutan.
You know what's interesting as far as it pertains to Orange? He's always been the stand-up politician, right? But now he's sort of heading towards Carrot Top. Some of the stuff he's doing at the podium with the Tic Tacs and everything. He's really becoming a comedian at the podium.
Well, he's you know what? He realizes that he's winning. I think that's bothering you, Bill.
Well, it is bothering me because, again, he's an insurrectionist who doesn't believe in democracy. So, of course, it's bothering me. And, of course, he's also insane and a criminal and stupid.
It's just Trump derangement syndrome. Oh no, I don't have anything against the guy, although he did sue me. Give me a break. Bill pretends as if he's so intelligent, so wise, so tuned in. Donald Trump's a fascist. He's an insurrectionist who refused to leave office and concede the election, even though he literally conceded the election, or at least conceded that he wasn't going to stay in the office. According to Bill Maher, that makes him a fascist. Disagreeing with the outcome of something, wanting investigations and audits, yeah, that makes you a fascist who will never accept defeat. No, that makes you a skeptic who saw some pretty sketchy crap that was never truly addressed in transparent manner. No, that makes you somebody who is willing and confident enough, courageous enough to stand up against something that you perceive as a clear injustice or something you perceive as non-democratic. You know, small stuff like the CIA, the FBI colluding with the DNC and Joe Biden's campaign to censor information during the debates to provide fake news pushback against the Hunter Biden laptop during the debates and across news coverage, you know, just censoring the flow of information in the public conversation on massive social media platforms. Pish posh. Donald Trump's an insurrectionist. Okay, Bill, slow the frick down. I can't keep up with your mighty intellect, social commentary, and political analysis. This guy is such a buffoon, it's not even funny. And then during that interaction, he also said another thing. When Greg Gutfeld mentioned that he didn't know that Trump sued Bill Maher, he said, "And you're in the news business? Really?"
Did he sue you?
Of course.
I didn't know that.
Really?
No.
Here in news?
What a condescending jerk. This coming from Bill Maher, knows nothing about anything.
No wonder I don't remember this.
No shit, you blocked it out, MK Ultra.
Who's that?
That's the mind control program you're under, Bill.
MK Ultra?
Yeah.
So who's Klaus Schwab?
The head of the WEF.
What's that?
Google it.
The original sent from both media and the intelligence agencies and federal law enforcement is the Russiagate stuff. And the reason that so many in the party, and I'm here as the translator because I'm not one of them, but so many in the party accept so much of Donald Trump's behavior is because the Russia stuff was a lie.
No, it wasn't.
Well, it wasn't all a lie.
Yes, it's not all a lie. You guys have been
No,
are you guys going to do a Steele dossier on me?
No.
Well,
some of the Steele dossier was true. Okay, you know, this...
Like we did Mueller report for 3 years.
Yes, and Mueller never said he was innocent.
And the whole time, I'm like, guys, I don't think he's a Russian plant. And everyone on CNN set is looking at me like I'm crazy. And at the end, we get to not much there, which
no,
was
there
the
was
case
quite a bit
throughout.
there.
There was a lot
there. Was
there.
A lot there.
Yeah.
There was collusion we never had before. It was unprecedented that a president would do that. He just did it in public because he's insane.
Yeah, Bill Maher, a real well-read, well-rounded in his news knowledge guy. Bill Maher, the guy who knows nothing about January 6th or the important investigative work that's been done surrounding it, Bill Maher, who knows nothing about the Twitter files, is going to say something like that to Greg Gutfeld because he wasn't aware of some obscure lawsuit that was supposedly big news. No, it wasn't big news anywhere. I remember that time so clearly. It was only big news on The Daily Show and on Real Time with Bill Maher on the comedy news shows. Again, give me a break. But anyways, let's continue to cover this guy's horrible moments. Once again, sticking on that same point where he acted so arrogant and condescending towards Greg Gutfeld. You're in the news business, right? You don't know this. I find that statement funny considering his third media appearance on Megyn Kelly's podcast. This happened.
Hillary Clinton, of course, is the original election denier. I'm sure you voted for her in 2016.
Well, she's not an election denier.
She absolutely was the OG election denier.
First of all, she came out before the sun had risen to concede the election to Trump.
And then spent the next 4 years saying he was illegitimate. He was an illegitimate president.
Okay, well, first of all, she didn't say he was an illegitimate.
Yes, she did.
You tell me exactly what she said.
She said those exact words repeatedly.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
Okay. I mean, she conceded the election. Whether you're interpreting her disappointment at losing it as the same thing as Trump not conceding it, I don't know if that's where you're getting it from. But again, it's a tremendous false equivalency. You could ask Hillary Clinton right now who won that election. She will tell you. Donald Trump won the election.
Now she knows she has to because of what Trump has done.
She came out that night in her dark purple suit and conceded the election.
Correct. And then spent the next 4 years trying to convince us it was not legitimate.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
Yeah, Bill Maher, who really knows everything about everything, makes the argument that Hillary Clinton didn't reject the results of her lost election in 2016. You know, the election that she still refuses to concede, the election that she still says was handed to Donald Trump by Russian interference. She immediately conceded the election. Well, did she? I mean, I guess on surface she did, but anybody who really knows what actually happened, no, she conceded on the surface, but behind the scenes, she was essentially engaged in a coup to unseat the sitting president at the time, President Donald J. Trump. She used Fusion GPS as a proxy to collude with a former British spy and multiple Russian sources and agents to launch a phony narrative in an attempt to paint Donald Trump as a Manchurian candidate, as a man who colluded with the Russians so he could be impeached and removed from office. I wouldn't call that conceding an election. I'd call that a vengeful coup. But of course, as we know, Donald Trump's the insurrectionist and threat to democracy because he's the guy who saw all of this stuff happening and attempted to protest it and called for investigations into all of it, from the, let's call it 2017 coup and beyond all the way to the 2020 election. This guy knows nothing. He has his little pre-rehearsed lines and his, fancy little jokes that his writer staff writes for him. He talks as if he's so smart and he went to an Ivy League school. I was calling that Donald Trump wouldn't concede and would never leave the office before anyone else. And everyone said I was smoking too much reefers. Well, actually, I was smoking just the right amount. Wow, so funny. You're so smart. You were so ahead of the curve. Give me a break. Bill Maher was pushing the same Trump derangement syndrome talking point that every anchor at every leftist network was pushing for years. I mean, they were talking about Donald Trump refusing to leave office back in 2018, well before he was running as an incumbent. But Bill Maher pretends as if he's the smart genius guy who is calling it ahead of everyone. What a pathetic display of lazy commentary portrayed as intellectual analysis. Bill Maher isn't what he thinks he is. His little media tour here certainly wasn't what he thought it was. Another embarrassing display. Bill Maher simply sucks. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.